Hi, what up, YouTube? This is No Cap, No Filter. I'm your host, Marley G, back at y'all another episode of Running With You. And today we got to run about Summyah, man. Summyah always going viral for saying something crazy. If you don't know who Summyah is, she's a streamer, and she was on Streaming University the first season. And she was one of the people who it actually benefited from. She got her platform up, and a lot of people started gravitating towards her. But ever since then, she's been going viral for a number of, stuff where it making her look like a real typical red airhead. But without further ado, let's go ahead on and get into the video. Right now, a lot of people are upset because the age gap with her and her boyfriend, No Cap, which is 27, and she's 20 and he's 27. Let's get into the clip. I can't believe this clip went viral. Like everybody is really talking about this clip, and it ain't just the age gap, but it's her analogy or her answer for the age gap and what she said. And I don't even think it's that deep, but I digress. Let's get into it.
Okay, so how many of y'all was attracted to the vampires? Y'all do know, vampires are like 1,000 years old, right? So there's nothing wrong with my age gap with my man, but you bitches want to fuck with a vampire who 1,000 years old. Y'all like Twilight, Vampire Diaries, all that. Get off my dick.
Oh my
Thank
god.
you. That's how that work. Anyways.
She has a forehead on her, but she's very beautiful. I can't knock that. She said, "Get off my dick." One of the main things that could turn me off in a woman is when they speak like that. And a lot of women from New York speak like that, and it migrated all the way down to the South. And a lot of South women speak like that. I hate when women talk like that. Ooh, it's automatic red flag. Because if you know she could just talk like that in a regular conversation, she definitely would talk like that in a heated moment. And if we in a heated moment and you tell me that, that's something I just cannot deal with. Okay, so a lot of people are making a big deal about this for two reasons. The fact that they are, mad at her for her age gap, 20 and 27. We're going to get into that. And a lot of people are mad about the analogy she used. Summyah first came on the scene and, she was doing her streaming. She was around a lot of the guys who do streaming. And, a lot of people feel like that's the method. If you're a woman, start getting around a lot of guys and having a lot of guys on your stream. That way, you could blow up your page. I get it. Cool. And then Streaming University came out. She was one of the people who it actually benefited from. A lot of other people, they didn't benefit. So a lot of people feel like all these people who are going to Streaming University is it's a slim chance, that you're gonna even get in. And even if you do get in, you still have to be compelling and entertaining to people and be consistent. So it's not a guaranteed shot. You're gonna be in Streaming University and all of a sudden you're just gonna be this rich streamer celebrity personality. But for Summyah, I would say it worked out, and she's been going viral for all the wrong reasons. I mean, it got to the point where it ain't even much. So it's not even funny no more. It's kind of cute, because I remember she went viral for that little taco thing, and she was just so she felt like she just because she's famous, she deserves a taco, even though the man was closing after a hard days of work. Because he was like, "Can I get a taco? Can I get me a chicken taco, nigga? Come on, I got $100 for you. You can't do me like this. I'm famous. I got 20,000 followers." And I'm telling you, dog, it's almost to the point where it's cute. Like, this is the typical light skin, uh, I'm privileged, uh, TikTok brain behavior. This is literally out of a episode of Black Mirror where people think that they self-worth or their validation is tied to their social media following. Their social media following is their validation and is their currency. Like, that's so crazy the times that we going in. And it's a lot of people who are going to be like that at Streaming University. Now, it's gonna be 250 people accepted. Out those 250 people, it may be 10 people make it. And those 10 people that make it, just you can't be to them, they feel like they always known they should have went, you know. And if they would have just been listening to people saying, "Oh, we need plumbers, we need welders," they would have never went to streaming university and chased their dreams. So I sometimes you can't knock it. Let these young kids go and try, you know. But the analogy that she gave with the vampires and stuff, I think she was just really trolling. I don't think she was dead ass. People making a whole big deal about that. I don't think it's that deep, you know. Yes, a lot of girls had crushes on a guy that they thought was attractive that just so happened to play a vampire role. No different than back in the day when Vampire in Brooklyn was out, and a lot of the women was attracted to Eddie Murphy when he was dressed up as the vampire, you know. But I want to talk about the age gap, 20 and 27. To me, I don't think it's a big deal because you in the same range. Both of y'all are in y'all 20s. No different than if both of y'all were in y'all 30s. If he was 37 and you 30, 47 and 40 is no different. Now, if you want to say, oh, well, would you be okay with a 10-year-old and a 17-year-old dating? Okay, now you're just moving the goalpost because that is not the same thing at all by any stretch of the imagination. And also, they say a 7-year age gap is almost perfect when it comes to a man and a woman in a relationship dating because women mature faster than men. So his level of maturity for a relationship, I ain't talking about smarts. I'm not talking about logical. I'm not talking about this or that. I'm just talking about relationship, maturity is on the same level as her. Now, some people might think that she is a typical red, light-skinned airhead, and that's why men go after these girls. And a lot of people will feel like, well, she's saying this now, and then when things don't work out years down the line, and she's perpetually single after dating the same guy, she's going to say that, oh, I was groomed. I understand that side too. But I do think that 20 and 27 is not bad. Me personally, would I date a 20-year-old if I was 27? No. You would have to be at least 24. I want you with some type of life experience. I don't want you to come with baggage. I don't want you to come with trauma. But at the same time, I want you to have some type of extra maturity about you. Like, you can't even drink yet. That's just me. But I wouldn't find it that bad. But like I say, they say 7 years is, a good age gap because women mature faster than men. So, mentally they kind of on the same level, right now, because he's 27 and she's 20, and that's exactly 7 years. Now me personally, I'm 36. I'm about to be 37 in December. I wouldn't mind dating a girl that's 27. That's going to be 10 years of an age gap. Would they say that's weird? And I know right now we in a time where a lot of people are voicing their opinion on what's weird, what's taboo, what's wrong, what's right. But back in the day, this was very common. Now to 27-year-olds picking up girls, in high school that's below the legal age, you want some weirdo shit. Certain shit, you just could have a good conscience and understand what's right and what's wrong. Like certain shit is just you going too far with it. You in weirdo realm. But I like I say, I don't knock it, but I wouldn't do it. If I'm 27, I would want you to be at least 24. But since I'm 36, I would want you to be at least 27, 28, Like that's the lowest I will go, because I wouldn't mind dating a girl that's my age. Now some dudes, they be in their mid 30s and they seeking girls who are, 18, 19, 20. Like to me, that's kind of predatory because you ain't just so happen meeting this girl and y'all got chemistry. You're seeking girls like that. Like that's on some weirdo shit. But I don't know what y'all think down in the comment section below. Do you agree with the 7-year gap? Do you disagree with the 7 year gap, no matter what the ages are, even if it's 37 and 30. Like, if you let me know what your experience was when it comes to a dating gap, or if your parents have a huge dating gap, like a lot of people, they might not agree with the age gaps, but their parents actually had a huge dating gap, but yeah, man, this has sparked a big old conversation on the internet, and I can't believe that this went viral. I'm no part of the I'm a part of the problem, I guess, because I'm covering it. But at the same time, this is a channel where I like to cover current events and hot topics, especially when it comes to dating and things of that nature. So let me know what y'all think down in the comment section below, man. Or you think it's no big deal, or do you feel like this is just wrong? Let me know down in the comment section. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're not. What you're waiting for. Until next time, I'm out.